Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss a question from class 11 history chapter 7, that is changing cultural traditions. So the question is, what were the features of humanist thought? Answer: predominant social philosophy and literary and intellectual currents of the period from 1400 to 1650 is known as humanism. With trade expansions, growth of prosperity and luxury resulting in development in social values and secular attitudes, there was a shift from the theocentric to anthropocentric world. A general emancipation of man was focused upon. Humanism was a restoration of true civilization after the Dark Age that had set in after the fall of the Roman Empire. So let's first talk about what is humanism. Humanism refers to a perspective that affirms some notion of human freedom and progress. It views humans as solely responsible for the promotion and development of individuals and emphasizes a concern for human in relation to the world. Now, there are few terms here which we need to learn, that is theocentric and anthropocentric. Theocentric means having God as a central focus, and anthropocentric means regarding humankind as the central or most important elements of existence, especially as opposed to gods or animals. Now, there are two more terms here, that is true civilization and dark age civilization, dark age, which needs our attention. So by true civilization means a civilization that offers a good way of life only if the social order is maintained, and by dark age we meant the age between the fall of the Roman Empire and the Renaissance, that is the period between 5th to 14th century. So summing up, we conclude that humanism basically meant a perspective that affirms some notion of human freedom and progress. There was development and progress of human individuals. There was a shift from theocentric to anthropocentric world. Earlier, people used to believe that God is the central focus, but with development and progress, the people started believing that humankind is the central or the most important element of existence, which is specially as opposed to God or animals. So, humanism was basically a restoration of true civilization after the Dark Age that had set in after the fall of the Roman Empire. So, after the fall of the Roman Empire, there was a period of Dark Age. So, why is Dark Age known as the Dark Age? Because during that age, there was a decline in the quality of literature, paintings, scientific innovations. So, that period came to be known as Dark Age. So humanism was basically the restoration of the true civilization, that is civilization which offers a good way of life to its individual. Offers a good way of life to its individual only if the social order is maintained. So humanism is basically promoting the individuality of a human being. So some of the features of humanism are given below. Humanism is stressed on the individual skills. A person with many skills and interests have been referred to as a Renaissance man. The emerging beliefs in individual potential help to identify a town by its citizens. So humanism stressed on improving the qualities of an individual. Now let's talk about the second feature. So the second feature goes as the humanist thought had a very different idea of history. According to this thought, only humanism could revive the long past true civilization. This revival would enable to end the dark age that Europe was then passing through. So as we all know, as after the fall of Roman Empire, the dark age had set in. Dark age, as I explained earlier, dark age meant the age where the quality of literature and scientific innovations had declined. So the humanist thought had a different idea of history. The humanist thought emphasized on the fact that only humanism could revive the long past true civilization, and this revival would help to end the dark age that had set in. Now, moving on to the third feature, The establishment of the new age would mark an end to the period of supremacy of the church. The basis of humanism is naturalism, which is antithetical to the beliefs of Christianity. So here we have to look what is the meaning of naturalism. It is the idea or belief that only natural forces and laws can they have direct influence on the humankind. So the establishment of the new age would mark an end to the period of supremacy of the church. So the church was at the topmost hierarchy, and the church did not believe on the natural forces, that is the forces of the nature which control the earth. People were taught that people were taught that it is the God who is the supreme power who controls the mankind, but the idea of the new age was that it is the natural forces that have influence on the mankind. Now moving forward, humanism revived the classical Greek literature. The works of Aristotle and Plato were translated, along with these subjects. Modern faculties such as chemistry, mathematics, natural science and astronomy also became a part of college curriculum. So during this age, a lot of stress was given upon reviving the earlier literatures and improving the quality of literature, mathematics, natural science by implementing new courses in the college curriculum. Not only formal education but also art, architecture and books were effective mediums of transmitting humanist ideas. Drawing realistic paintings and sculpting perfectly proportioned figures of men and women were expressions of humanism. Painters and sculptors started to rely on anatomy, geometry and physics to recreate reality. So humanist thought were propagated through various mediums, by encouraging the sculptors, by encouraging the painters to make new paintings of standard quality, and this is how humanist thought was transmitted. Thank you. For such content, please subscribe to Intellify.